Hey everyone, it's me again, and I have no foundation on, and you guys know what that means. It means that once again, I am testing out another foundation. I know. I just did a first impression of the Atomic Cosmetics Spackle foundation some time ago, but you know, I have the day off today, and this is one of the videos on my list, so I was like, let me do this, and get it on my channel ASAP, because today I'm going to be first impressioning the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. This came out some time ago, like a while ago, at least a year I'm guessing, and I thought about getting it, but I had never really tried Clinique foundations before, and I was kind of meh about it, but I've started seeing it on YouTube more and more very recently, so I was like, ooh, let me test this out. So I found my shade, and I'm going to be testing this little bugger out for you guys, because after all, the Atomic Cosmetics foundation is fantastic, but it's a show foundation, and people want foundations that they can use on a daily basis. So we're gonna test it. I'm gonna take a look at the claims here and, you know, wear it throughout the day, have you guys follow me around, all that good stuff. Let's see. This says allergy tested, 100% fragrance free, ophthalmologist tested, moderate to full coverage, natural matte finish. Cool. Foundation and concealer in one for a natural, beyond perfected look that lasts all day. Lightweight moisturizing makeup covers thoroughly without clogging pores. Color stays true even through sweat and humidity. For complete coverage, dot on all over face and blend. Use the unique applicator to spot conceal, oil free. There's some lofty claims in there. From what I understand, according to one of the Sephora girls that I talked to while I was visiting the States, Clinique is one of the only brands that can actually officially claim that their products are hypoallergenic. I believe Almay is the only other brand that can really claim that. So this should not cause any reactions for me. I do have sensitive skin that is combination and acne prone. So this is gonna be an interesting test. They say moderate to full coverage. The one thing I'm kind of iffy about is the applicator. So you open it up, bam, and it's got one of the largest doe foot applicators I've ever seen on the planet. And you're just supposed to apply it straight from this onto your face. And that seems a little unsanitary to me as an acne-prone individual. I don't know if that's something that I'm gonna be able to use for an extended period of time. We will see how this works. So first things first, I am going to prime, I guess, one side of my face. This isn't technically an official foundation primer, but I got it the other day, and I'm thinking it's gonna be a good foundation primer because it leaves a pretty sticky finish. It's the Etude Herbal UV Jelly Grace of the Earth sunscreen. This is like a sunscreen jelly. I got it out in country, and it seems very kind of glycerin-y, so I think it's gonna work really well as a foundation primer. So I'll get a little dot of that, rub it between my fingers, and we'll prime this side of my face. So I'm just gonna spread it all over my face. If you guys hear lawnmowers in the background, there's nothing I can do about it. The grounds people are mowing like near the road where it's like publicly owned area, so they are going to be around every now and again. All right, one side of my face is primed. Now I'm going to go ahead and start applying this foundation. Now, from what I've seen from other people, this is a very full coverage product. So if my understanding is correct, I am not going to need much. I'm just gonna dot it all over my face. That'll work. And then I'm going to actually use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to start to blend this into the skin. And this is what I would normally do for something that claims to be like full coverage. Matches pretty good. But yeah, I would normally use a sponge like this for something that is medium to full coverage, because, you know, when it comes to like day-to-day wear, I'm not really looking for like intense full coverage. So if there's a full coverage foundation that I'm using and I want to sheer it out, I will use this Miracle Complexion sponge to do that. Just because, I mean, I'm having an okay skin day considering, and I really don't want to, you know, cake the foundation on today because I'm not really going anywhere. Blending in pretty nicely. The color match is pretty damn good considering. I thought for a moment it was going to be too light on me, but it looks like it's going to work out. It blended straight into my neck. Now I have heard this foundation can oxidize, so even if it's a little bit light, it should be fine. I maybe should have done one side with a brush and one side with a beauty blender, but I'm just doing the same routine I would normally do with any full coverage foundation product. So that is one layer of the foundation on. I am pretty impressed. It's making the texture on the sides of my nose a little bit readily apparent for my taste, which I'm not too thrilled about. Some of my redness is still peeking through a small bit, but again, this was just a very small amount of this foundation. So I'm gonna take a little bit extra, not that much, and we're gonna dot it on the areas where I need a little bit more help. We're just gonna layer this up a little bit to see if it actually works as a concealer and if it cakes it all. And when it comes to testing the cakiness level of this foundation, I pointedly put it in places where I know I have fine lines and creasing issues, just to see if adding another layer made that problem worse. Okay, so this is one thin layer of the foundation built up in some areas. Get all up in your grill here so you can take a look. Here's my scarring. There's the texture. Good or bad, lumps and bumps, it's all there. Let's take a look in the mirror here, like up close and personal, because boy, I can't see a thing without my glasses sometimes. Blend it down my neck a little bit more. The match is okay. It's a little bit pale on me and maybe a little bit pink, which is surprising because it looked really yellow in the tube. Coverage-wise, it's okay. It seems to have covered up most of my acne scarring without the need for concealer. Finish looks pretty good. It's showing the texture around my nose a good bit, and it's already sinking into the fine lines on my forehead. So, not thrilled about that, but it could have just been that I put too much on. Yeah, my skin is looking a little bit textured right now. But I will tell you one thing. If this creases, then it's not going to be a very good concealer, is it? Because, you know, ideally you want concealer to sit in your face and not crease all over the place. So the finish is, I would say, demi-matte. It definitely has some glow to it naturally. You can see that as I move my face around. Primed side versus unprimed side, I didn't really see a difference in application. I didn't see a difference in the time it took to blend. Or anything like that at all. So far, my main gripes are it is kind of showing my texture a small bit. It's sinking into the lines on my forehead, showing the texture around my nose quite a bit, which I'm not too thrilled about, but the coverage level is pretty good, and it did cover most of what I needed it to cover. I just don't like how bumpy my skin looks right now, but that could be just as much my skin as it is the foundation. So I am probably gonna set this with a little bit of powder, not too much, because it doesn't really feel like super tacky or anything like that. It's not transferring a severe amount. It does transfer a small bit, But I am gonna take, whoo, knocking stuff over. I'm gonna take some of my Coty Airspun. This is in Naturally Neutral. Just a teeny tiny bit, just the smallest amount. Not gonna bake, nothing like that. I'm just gonna take a really light powder brush, big fluffy powder brush, dip this in here, knock the living hell out of it because I do not need a whole lot. And I'm just gonna powder the places where I would normally put powder, which is around my nose mostly, because my nose is a butthole when it comes to makeup. And we're just gonna lightly sweet powder over that just to set it a small bit. And again, like I said in my other foundation first impression, this is not at all meant to, you know, give this foundation any kind of advantage when it comes to staying power. This is just something that I would normally do regardless of what foundation I was wearing. I almost always set my foundations in certain areas with powder because, you know, I am the true definition of combination skin. My nose gets quite oily, so I don't want that to impact how I feel about the foundation. There it is. There is the foundation with a light layer of powder over it. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. What time is it on my phone? It is currently 1:14 in the afternoon. I am going to do the rest of my makeup, film a couple videos, and I will check in with you guys in a little bit. So, toodaloo. Hey guys. Digging the facial hair I grew up myself. I'm just kidding. As I am filming this, it is about 5 till 6 in the early or late afternoon, early evening. I never know what to call 6 o'clock. Is it evening? Is it afternoon? I don't even know. But I finished my makeup some time ago, and I figured I'd check in with you guys because I'm looking a little oily. Definitely shiny around the nose, forehead's still looking okay, but yeah, shininess definitely happened around the nose. Texture is starting to show through, and I haven't even really been wearing this all that long, so I'm gonna go ahead and blot. And the coverage has stayed pretty consistent. Makeup did go on over this fairly well with really no problem at all, and it stayed pretty well makeup-wise. But it's just a little bit oily around my nose, so I'm gonna blot and I will check back in a few hours. Hey everyone, I'm back for the final check-in. It is currently 10:10 in the evening, and I'm feeling quite shiny, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. All in all, lasting power hasn't been that bad. I know I look like a huge shiny grease ball right now, but keep in mind, it's quite humid in Japan, and I did not use any setting spray, and I used very little powder. So considering that, I don't think this did that badly at all. I do have a couple of gripes with it. Being a full coverage foundation, while it is very lightweight, which I love, like it hasn't really felt like makeup-y, it does have a little bit of a makeup-y look to it if you build it up too much, and it can sink into my fine lines and my pores a small bit, which we can see a little bit of texture on either side of my nose reflecting that. That being said, I feel like setting spray would probably help that problem a small bit, as would the technique of baking my powder into my skin. But yeah, all in all, it's not too bad. It doesn't really feel too heavy. It doesn't really, even though it looks quite heavy right now, it looks great in photos, looks great on camera, when freshly applied anyway. And I feel like with a little touch up, I could probably still wear this out. So there you go, there is my face. Take of it what you will. We do have some buildup in the nose here, but that happens to me pretty much always. So all in all, is it like, OMG, holy grail, everyone in the world needs this? No, but I think if you're in the market for a medium to full coverage foundation, this would be one that would be definitely worth trying out, because it is, you know, good on my sensitive skin. I mean, it hasn't freaked me out. My skin hasn't felt itchy or broken out or anything like that. Time will tell, though, how this pans out. Yeah. So I'm going to be trying this with a few other application methods and trying it with a few other setting methods just to see if things improve or not, and I will check in with you guys at a later time to let you know how this has done. So that's about it for me. I'm going to wash this makeup off and wind down for the evening because I've gotten to that point where I just want to take my makeup off really badly. So I'm going to go do that. I want to thank you guys so much. I hope this was informative for you. If it was, or if it was just plain entertaining, there's a button for that. Spank that like button in the butt. You know it deserves it. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe and become a member of the faithful today. I put out new videos every Sunday/Monday sometimes. I thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today, and I will see you in the next video. Toodles!